Hi guys. I had to make a second video, a little shorter and condensed version of the first one. There was a couple of things that I didn't touch, and I'm just wondering who's controlling who at the 49ers, and who's doing the quality control at the 49ers. I mean, if you own a football team and you run a football team, that has hundreds of millions, if not a billion or so, in annual turnovers and commitments and salaries and all that stuff. When you run an organization like the 49ers, who's controlling who and who's keeping in track on that everyone is held accountable according to the job description that they're set to do? I mean, who's? I know that Parag is the contract guy and try to stay under the cap and tricks and mix and all that stuff, but anyone can do that job. Fairly easy job. It's a fairly easy job. It's math. It's nothing. It's no whoop-de-doo. So, and look at the contracts that have been given out. To the players that are getting them. We over the last, at least over the last decade, or if not longer, we have shilled out millions of dollars to players that were drafted while they were injured, and we gave them super contracts. Compared to what other teams would have done. Other teams probably wouldn't have drafted injured player, but that was of course under the Balke era. But now, who is to say that the contracts that are given are good, or who's to make sure that we have given good contracts? Why do we have to pay mediocre players more money than other clubs need to do? Don't come and tell me, oh, because of the tax in California. No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. There's a way to go around that, but you can give them, like, you say, okay, the tax is 18% or whatever, or 10% or whatever. Okay, well, here's our deal, and 10% added on to compensate for the tax. Take it or leave it. Why shall we pay them millions and millions on top of everything? So that's one side of it, and look at the contracts that we have given out. I am not overly convinced. Like, one good example is Kittle. As soon as Kittle got his multi-million-dollar contract, his production went down, and all of a sudden he's hurt every freaking year. I wonder why. Now, who's holding John Lynch accountable for the job he's supposed to do? Who's keeping Kyle Shanahan accountable? Is Kyle Shanahan only answering to Jed York, or is he answering to John and Jed? I don't think he's answering to John at all. I don't think John is a GM, if you know what I mean. I think he's just a hired face, a hired puppet that they can string around, and Kyle wants him to do this, and Jed wants him to do this, and John gets paid to do it, so John does it. What do you call that? That's a puppet. That's not a GM. A GM is having responsibilities. He takes actions. He makes decisions. I don't think I have seen one decision yet that I think or I know comes from the general manager without that having being approved from either Kyle or Jed. Now, who's holding the worst clown in this circus accountable? Who's holding Kyle Shanahan accountable? Apparently not John Lynch, because John Lynch is sucking up Kyle Shanahan's butt. And he's kissing Kyle Shanahan's butt every day, all day, every week. If not, a GM like John would have said, you have to come into my office, we have to have a talk, this is not good enough, make it happen, or you know where the door is. Have you seen that? Have you heard that? No. Is there any indication of that? No. This organization is run like a soup kitchen. It's poorly run. You can look at that and go, how can you say that? Well, one, look at the stadium they built. One of the worst. It's one of the newest ones, but it's one of the worst ones built and in use. Look at the players they sign. Look at the players they draft. Look at the contracts they give players. It's either they really pisses players off because they don't offer them enough, or they offer the wrong players too much. They draft injured players. They draft wrong players. They take the club and the team and the organization to the pawn shop to get one player they don't know anything about, that played one game. Tell me that they are in control, because they are not. Can you prove to me without the shadow of a doubt that they know what they're doing, and that what they're doing is going to yield us a Super Bowl in this year or next year? No. You can't, because what they're doing and how this club is being run, how this team is being run, how this organization is being run, from the top to the bottom, is a disgrace. It's a total disgrace. And there's a total lack of control, and there's a total lack of quality in what's being done. It's like, he has a fancy name, he has a fancy dad, so of course he must be good. No. Look at his history. What did he achieve in Washington? What did he achieve in Atlanta? Did he win anything? No. He fucked up a Super Bowl with Atlanta. That's what he did. Like he fucked up our Super Bowl in 2019. So who is in charge? If Jed York doesn't have the bone marrow to do it, or the bones and the structure to take care of this business and this organization, who is? Do we need new owners? Because for the last 23, 24, 25 years, sure thing hasn't happened under Jed York. I heard something about, the future forward is going to be like Super Bowls and playoffs, and we're going to be the leading team in the NFC West, and that haven't happened. It's not even close. What we're running is the biggest circus in town. We are running the biggest circus on the West Coast. We're running the biggest circus in almost in entire NFL, except for the Jets. We and the Jets are equal, but on opposite side of the country. This team, this organization, is so poorly put together. I mentioned the stadium. I mentioned the GM, the cap space dude, the contract dude, the owner, who doesn't have any spine at all to make things happen. And then we have, position coaches. This is where the meat on the bone starts to happen. We have position coaches that are not good enough. Not good enough. If we had position coaches that was good, we wouldn't have been one of the most injured teams in the NFL. Two, we wouldn't have been one of the most penalized teams in the NFL, because good coaches would weed that shit out. You saw last year we had a team on the field. Okay, we had a defense on the field that was worse than this year, and I want to say they kind of performed better. And that is thanks to Robert Saleh. That shows you the difference between Saleh and DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans is not even close to be good enough. Kyle Shanahan is not even close to be good enough. John Lynch is not even close to be good enough. Jed York is a joke when it comes to being an owner. A lot of people call Jerry Jones the owner of example, because he cares about the team and he does it in public. You know what? I want to say, if we had an owner like Jerry, yeah, things would have been different. I believe that. Even though the Dallas Cowboys haven't succeeded a lot, they're doing good this year because they have put together a good organization. They did a total cleanup. Position coaches was like, boof, changed. Some got reorganized. But they did a total do-over. In the 49ers camp, we have second string coaches. And look at the QB coach. Our QB coach is, I don't want to even say it. You can ship him to Jets, and the Jets will go like, no, we don't want him. We don't want him. So who's taking the responsibility for what's happening at the 49ers? I want to see something happen. So I want to see someone come out and say, we haven't performed according to our plans. We haven't, played up to our standards. We haven't been good enough. So you know what? Here's a chance for us to grab this situation, and this is the situation where we're going to make some changes. Do we have that one guy in the organization that are willing to go out and say, we haven't done good enough? That's the reason why we're changing things. If it's Kyle, and he's saying, you know what, due to the circumstances, due to the results, I don't think we have gotten to a point where the goals that we set that I was part of, so I'm pulling out. I'm resigning. Either he can do it, or Jed York has to come and say, you know what, this team is underperforming. This organization is run like a circus. It's a puppet show. We need to get control. So John and Kyle, bye-bye. D'Amico Ryan, bye-bye. Position coaches, bye-bye. Go out and get some. I know you can't do all of them right now, but the position coaches you can do after the season is over, and you can go out and get new ones and pay them to come. Because coaches are not up against cap. So you need good coaches. You need good position coaches. You need good coordinators. You need someone who knows what they're doing. And I have to say that since John Harbaugh left, you have seen what kind of circus this coaching staff hiring has been. You can see that Jed York and Parag don't know what they're doing when it comes to coaches or GMs, for that matter. Bulky wasn't that great. We had a good one, and we had a couple of good coordinators and a good head coach under Harbaugh and Fangio and Roman. But after that thing broke up and got tossed out of town, look what we've been through. Chip Kelly, Tim Sula, Kyle Shanahan. Are you kidding me? We have been fostering and paying these guys millions of dollars to do what? Ruin our future. Okay, I promised a short video. I'm going to end it here. But please guide me. Anyone out there, let me know if you know who can take care of this club and get it back on track. Because it sure doesn't seem like Kyle can, and it sure doesn't seem like John is up to that job. And I don't think Parag is even in that discussion, because he's just a numbers guy, and he's doing that kind of poorly too. So does this come down to, and does everything fall on the biggest clown of them all, Jed York? Or is this something that is way bigger? Way bigger. Maybe we should give the team back to Eddie. What a soup.